Remarkable! Incredible! Unbelievable!
Save! And fuck our champions!
Good on Pepe! Goal! It doesn't get any better than that!
Good afternoon and welcome to Game and Frame, match week 7 of the Cosmopolitan First Division as we approach the winter break on a very blustery day here at Randall's Island. We will feature a very important matchup for the Cosmopolitan First Division. Sandzak taking on Manhattan Kickers. Let's begin with Sandzak, who returned to winning ways last week and sit at the top of the table after victory over Manhattan Celtic with a score of 5-0. They are tied on points with Block FC, but hold the head-to-head in the tiebreaker as they defeated Block FC in the very first game of the season on this very field with a splendid goal from their captain Sabovic. The tiebreaker means that they will remain in first place should they win and should Block FC win, who play also simultaneously. We will have live score updates of the 3 teams in the top places: Sandzak against Manhattan Kickers, Liberia, who is taking on Block FC that we mentioned, and FC Ulkini taking on the New York Ukrainians. Sandzak feature the best defense in the league, conceding only 5 goals in 7 matches. Moreover, let's go to Manhattan Kickers, who begin the day in 7th place on 10 points, but only 3 points separate 3rd from 7th as the two sides walk out onto this pitch field number 74 here at Randall's Island. 7th place to 3rd place is a very close margin and can propel them higher in the standings. With a win here, they could actually bolster up some spots from the position that they begin the day here in 7th. And they're pushing for the top 4. Of course, we know the importance of the top 4 in the Cosmopolitan First Division, coming off a narrow 1-0 loss last time out against Liberia. Can they return to winning ways here today as the two sides greeting one another? Manhattan Kickers will line up in their all-black kit, and Sandzak with their classic blue and white strip with blue shorts and white socks. Like we said, simultaneous games here, 2 of them in fact for us here at Randall's Island. This very game that we'll stream here live, and the game also behind on field number 75, Block FC taking on Liberia, and like we mentioned, FC Ulkini taking on the New York Ukrainians as the two sides going for their last bit of instruction pre-game. Bit of a delayed kickoff as the reserve game began a bit late and finished a bit late as well. We can say that the Sandzak reserves were victorious with a scoreline of 4-2 over the Manhattan Kickers reserves. How will the two first team do in a very important matchup for many reasons? Like we mentioned, with a win, Manhattan Kickers can press the top 4. And with a win, Sandzak can also solidify their standing at the top of the table for one more week. First ball was pumped long from Kalenovic, and the first controlled possession for Manhattan Kickers, who will begin attacking from left to right. Very blustery day here at Randall's Island. It's going to be rather interesting how the two teams can cope with this frantic wind, at times very strong gusts, allowing the ball to just trickle out of the possession sometimes, and the service to be rather more qualitative if you'd like to ensure that the ball will reach your teammate. Here is Mohammed in the first foray forward for the Kickers. Mohammed to the captain Delganis. Back to the center midfielder, who is a mainstay in the Manhattan Kickers team. a name that we will mention that is certainly familiar with both sides is Matthew Heze, who actually scored a very important goal last year for Manhattan Kickers as well on this very field to ensure their safety in this division, and began this season in the roster of Sandzak. He's lined up on the right wing for Sandzak. So player very familiar with his ex-team, if you'd like. Ramo Cekic at left back for Sandzak today. Captain, of course, Haris Sabovic, and Murat in the middle of defense. And the mainstay in goal, Danilo Nivkovic, the Montenegrin shot stopper. Very fluid, but correct back for Mohamed to Leloup. Very gets a touch. Here is Matthew Heze. Mark Kissick also in the starting 11 for Sandzak. Mamadou Diombera, of course, a very dangerous player on the left-hand side. Mark Kissick tries to find Cekic, and Kickers will come away with some possession. Michalak at right full back for the Kickers. Ball is sprayed out to the left-hand side. Driving on this very Rechka, that is, who's began the game on the left-hand side. So Rechka off the left, Mohamed off the right-hand side. Sanchez leading the line for Manhattan Kickers. And out for a goal kick for Nivkovic. Sabovic, Haris Sabovic, that is. Mirza Sabovic is not in the 11. I'm not exactly sure if he's on the bench and going to be used later in the game. We'll see that in due course as a strong blast of wind. Flag is down. Sanchez in an appetizing position on the top of the box. It's clipped in towards the Liganis. Michalak. Mohamed Diombera gets a little touch of the ball. The wind at times is very deceptive. It's certainly windy, but just a gust of wind can really alter the play at times. Chelebi, who's now pressing the ball, of course, leading the line for Sandzak. Diombera pressing Yabro, who has to be careful. And offside. Although the wind is quite frantic, we can say probably it's going from left to right in the most angle, if you like. So in essence, Kickers are going with the wind and Sandzak against. But Sabovic to his center back Murat. The Turkish defender will exchange with the captain, who will lift a diagonal. It's hanging up in this wind. Sanchez tries to get a touch. Deligiannis cushioned by the center back for the Kickers. Rechka. Leloup, who finds Sanchez. I believe a new signing this year, if I'm not mistaken, for Manhattan Kickers. Looks a real spark in the number 9 position, but I believe can also play off either wing. So a lot of flexibility in the front line with, as we said, Mohamed, who we've seen his quality, and Reshka on the other side. The midfield triplet of Leloup, who's also played at center back. Credit to the previous point. Velianis, and the man on the ball now here, Sale, who is dispossessed by Kalenovic, who asks the Umbera to stretch his legs. So too did Mohamed, and wins aside a throw-in. Michalak with length. The Umbera will run out of pitch. Stanovic in the middle of midfield with Mark Kissick and Kalenovic. Čekić back to Nivkovic. Sabovic. So far, I believe no score in the other games as well. Still a lot of football to be played. Gabro has to just knock it out into touch as the pressure was on from Matthew Heze. Also facing the other game in essence, so if there's a scream of joy, we can probably get a feel of who scored in the corner of our eyes, but the action remains here as Murat, Rechka, nice little triangle there, Leloup, Kalenovic comes away with possession. Throw in for Sandzak. Kalenovic. Sabovic back to Kalenovic. Everyone behind the ball now for the kickers. Clip towards Heze, who gets a touch, but the second runner was offside. Tries to latch onto a little loose Mark Kissick. Back with surety towards Yabro, who puts his foot through it. Good distance on it. Sanchez and Čekić battled aerially, so to again Čekić at the second time of asking. a free kick. Some instruction from Coach Hart on the sidelines to his team as a free kick just on the center circle, the line of the center circle of center to the left, which was quickly taken. De Servi finds a pass to his center back. Kalenovic dropping between the lines to receive the first ball. Diombera has stretched his defender, but the pass was elected towards the right-hand side, and Heze wins a throw-in. We can say that Liberia have taken the lead over Block FC. Just about 2 or so minutes ago, they opened the scoring against the team that sits second in the table. Certainly good news for Sandzak. If they have one eye on that, you can just turn your shoulder and have a glance. That's the good thing about playing at Randall's Island and simultaneous times. We also have our lovely streams here at Game in Frame, should you want to tune into the FC Olkini game as well for parts to check the score on that. Kalenovic will float it with the outside of the foot to Diombera. Markisic's press, ball backwards. Michalak Lelianis, the Greek midfielder, turns his shoulder very neatly. Mohamed, triangle. Lelianis, Mohamed on the half turn. Will float towards Sanchez, which overhit. Of course, guys, stay tuned for more Game in Frame action today. At 4 p.m., Central Park Rangers will take on New York International, APSL Metropolitan Conference matchup. And at 8 p.m. at Belson Stadium, New York Prince Cyprian Freedoms will take on Richmond County, another fixture in the ever melodramatic APSL Metropolitan Conference. Appeals of a handball. Sanchez can swivel. Finds almost a pass towards Leloup. Velianis and Chelebi in a 50-50. And the captain is prone on to the turf here. Certainly a very important player for the Manhattan Kickers. They're asking for some assistance from the bench. We have this impromptu timeout as Yanis is being looked at. It was 50-50. Maybe he just jarred something in his knee, perhaps. See them flexing his left leg as we have this mini timeout as well. Let's remind you that today's Game in Frame is also broadcasted by Umbro, celebrating more than 100 years of football. Learn more at umbropremier.com. We would like to thank our sponsors at Umbro, as Lelianis is applying some weight on it, gingerly trying to jog off. Also a little hand slap between Lelianis and Chelebi. Nice to see it, and certainly good for the Manhattan Kickers that Lelianis is up and about. He will be replaced for the moment, captain off. Let's see if he will re-enter. The loop. Yabro couldn't, as the pass was hit dangerously, giving a set piece opportunity to Sandzak. Nivkovic and Sabovic just organizing the lines as the two center backs and Cekic in the area. Kalenovic to take this set piece. Actually, the reserve side scored from a set piece their first goal. Can the first team replicate? Served into the heart of the area. Good first clearance from a black shirt. Appeals has stayed in place. Sabovic, who has remained forward, pressing his opposition's center back now. The serve, he got a little challenge in, and trotting back onto the field is Delganis. Good news for the kickers, like we mentioned. So that little issue he had not so severe for the time being. Very energetic player in the middle of midfield. Has a good bit of pace in his play, and certainly the work rate and endeavor that you would want in a midfielder. Flag is down. Matthew Heze through on goal. Matthew Heze tried to locate the first post. There was a bit of pressure behind him, not allowing him to make a sufficient contact with his strike. But a goal kick to Yabro. The ball is just dancing away from the 6-yard line as Yabro places it to serve. He will serve it towards the halfway line. A flick from Mohamed. Rechka tried to latch onto the first ball, excuse me. Matthew Heze off Bibovic. Chelebi on the top of the box. Appeals of a offside given. Quick to restart the kickers. Rechka. Throw in for the side that is effectively going into the wind. We'll see how maybe it'll alter in the second half, their style or their build out, but so far no goals. A couple of half chances, nothing really too discomforting for Yabro and or Nivkovic to deal with yet. These tightly contested games are, as we say, all the money in this Cosmopolitan First Division, a division of certainly real quality up and down the division. Any side can pose problems to others. Sanchez. Muscularly in was Sabovic. Sanchez forced to the corner flag, and good bit of defending from the captain. Cekic to throw. Kalenovic, Mohamed, Veliani's first time. Leloup. Mohammed. De Servi coming across, and the Italian will trot back into position. Sabovic was stretching, but also felt a bump on his backside. Free kick for Nivkovic. Let's remind you that Liberia are still in the lead over Block FC. Short with Sabovic. That bluster of wind didn't allow him to possibly take a long service. Yeah, bro. From about 10 or so yards outside his 18-yard area. We'll have this goal kick effectively, as I'll pump it into the heart of the Sandzak final third. Certainly the wind is causing trouble, so to almost Sanchez and Rechka. Forcing Sandzak maybe to play a little bit more side to side. Often can go direct as well, but the wind is certainly in the favor of the kickers now. Sanchez trying to latch on. Nivkovic coming a long way and sprawling and quickly distributing cleverly to his fullback, who will try to find Mamadou Diombera. Yabro a long way off his goal. In essence, a good pass to Mohammed, who will come to retain. Little loose, Kalenovic, Chalebi will connect. A swivel from Sale, and he earns a whistle. Maybe in days like this, certainly two sides have the quality to do it, but maybe in a day like this, one moment of brilliance is needed. Served in, and Nivkovic comfortable, who can be the point of difference for either of these two sides. Certainly not easy, neither for one, neither for the other, to play in conditions like these. But as we say, in football, both sides are playing in conditions as such. Stanovic dispossessed. Sanchez, Stanovic bites back for the possession with calmness back to Nivkovic. Certainly do control the ball at times, but sometimes one direct ball when the lines are elevated is important. Markisic, Bibovic will hack clear. Tipped over towards Mamadou, appeals of a handball. Maybe advantage given. Floated in. It's gonna evade one. Yabro has to come out to collect. And indeed he does. Good distribution. With the hand to the loop. Rechka trying that left hand side again. The serve, line splitting Kalenovic, neat half turn. Stanovic, Sabovic can inch his way up. Just dampen down in the wind. The reserves also played, of course, on this pitch like we mentioned, but also played the same direction in the first half as well. It was 2-2 there at halftime. The final score of 4-2 for the Sandzak reserves, but similar setup if you'd like. Attacking into the wind in the first half. Cekic, cushioned. Kalenovic on the top of the box will sift it out to Matthew Heze. Picks up his head. Chelebi's touch. And stretching at the back post was Cekic. Cekic, Diombera overhits his fullback. Mivkovic wants high press from his side as the kickers are pinned into their final third. As I believe a substitution for the Manhattan kickers, Delianis, coming off, maybe two substitutions. We'll see that in due course. One is Zami, who's on the left-hand side. Mohammed chinks in field. Keep it is the cry that they do. Sale. Another substitution, I believe, is in the middle of midfield here. The man on possession, Da Costa. So a straight swap for Delianis and fresh legs off the left with Zami. His introduction into the match. Michalak to Mohammed. And again, the wind deceptive on that occasion. The correct weight of pass, the correct run, the correct timing, always important in football, but especially possibly today. And a substitution for Sandzak, Mohamed Bou, who we haven't seen actually in a couple of match days. Another very energetic player in the middle of midfield, taking a position in set position in his usual, standing in the midfield for Sandzak. Chelebi. Back with Mivkovic. Don't have word yet on the FC Ulkini score, but we can say that Liberia have taken the lead on Block FC in the very field behind us. Here we remain at 0-0. Some contact on Cekic with the sole of his boot will, for the moment, find his man, Diombera and Mohammed. There's a whistle. Michalak will think about playing backwards and will do so. Lebi. Boo back with Nivkovic with his opposite foot. Good distance. Da Costa will try to find Mohammed, but he checked his run as he was in an offside position. 33 minutes gone here at Randall's Island Field 74. We remain at 0-0. Sandzak in possession. Ball glued to Diombera's foot. Kalenovic. Haris Sabovic finds Rstenovic, who's picked up an interesting position on the left-hand side. The one and almost the two with his center forward, who will latch onto it now, tries to pirouette around Leloup. Mohammed. Da Costa. Cekic. Good bit of play from Ramo Cekic. Also featured some minutes in the reserve game, we can say. But so far, full of energy. And the offside. Judged on Sanchez's movement beyond the last line. Sabovic more flat delivery this time. Certainly that is an aspect of Sandzak's game, the two ball-playing center backs. Nivkovic will beat Sanchez to it. Maybe a difference in the second half for that notion. Chelebi was a couple feet away from that service. Mohammed on the turn. Sale. Leloup first time to the substitute Zami, who dances onto his right foot. Zami will line one up. Decent effort from the substitute, who danced onto his right foot and unleashed the shot. As I believe Murat has gone down and is actually asking for a substitution. So who will slot in at center back now for Sandzak? Certainly not what was on the playbook to replace your center back so early in the contest. Let's see if he will re-enter, but there was a certain motion towards the bench to get him off. How will Sandzak now reconstruct the back four? It's going to be the Italian that's going to slot into that position that Murat was playing in and now vacating. Who will line up on the right back position? We'll see that in due course as Kalenovic is dropped in for the moment. Čekić, Diombera, byline, stumbles, gets up to his feet just in the nick of time. The covering defender was there to shut out the light, however. Stenovic has gone over, boo, free kick. Is this Haris Sabovic territory? We remind you that he scored a worldly of a goal further out against Block FC, a real wicked free kick that swiveled all over the place. This is going to be quickly taken, trying to find Yabro in a position that we was constructing as well. Clever idea from Sabovic, but Yabro scampered back to collect. De Servi is a free kick and a word for Sanchez, I believe. About 5 or 6 more minutes left in this first half. Has the control and finds Sabovic. Kalenovic on the overlap is Čekić. Good weight of pass towards Matthew Heze. It's loose and almost ended up in the back of Yabro's net. Little miscommunication there between captain and Yabro, but they get away with it on this instance. Schneider, who had the last touch. Still, the scoreline remains here, and the scoreline still remains at the field behind us. Liberia in the lead over Block FC. We will certainly have a glance at both of these scores and the third of FC Ulkini and the New York Ukrainians at halftime. So stick around for those scoreline updates. Is the last minutes here of a first half in which no goals have been dispatched. Kalenovic, as the ball was dancing towards him. The Servi, expertly done from the defender. Jekic, Nivkovic, little risky. The survey is this kicker's moment. Shut out the light as coming away with the possession is Savovic. Diombera can just drive into space now. Diombera lengthening his stride. Has to go and press here, bro, who will clear lines towards Mohamed. Cekic in a 50-50 with Mohamed. Ball over the top. And Nivkovic will thump it out into the car park. Into the road, actually, behind us. That's a substitution for Manhattan Kickers.
Please close the gate, all right? Close the gate, thank you.
Mohamed has gone off. And they're replaced by Galia, who I believe is also a new signing for Manhattan Kickers. I believe he played for Polonia, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, fun fact of the first half here, I believe scored a goal against Sandzak reserves, playing for Polonia reserves. The person in the goal, me. Fun fact of the day, but nonetheless, Galia, who I presume is a new signing now for Manhattan Kickers, possibly a couple weeks back. I'm not exactly sure, don't quote me on that, but he has gone through the middle of the attacking front line, meaning that Sanchez will go out to the right-hand side. That flexibility that we said, sail. Zami probably had the best chance of the first half. A shot comes in. Nivkovic has to get low. A quickly risen flag. Nonetheless, the ball ricochets off the woodwork. Nivkovic, exemplary there. Savovic. Sandzak just possibly get one chance at goal before they can swap ends. And, certainly discuss at halftime. Both sides will certainly have a instruction how to work and or to go against the wind now. Still some minutes rather, left in this first half. Savovic with calm to his goalkeeper, Bu. In fact, that is De Servi, who is lining up at centre back now. That there is our answer to our question. Diombera has Schneider stretching every sinew to get the possession and did very well. As that is the halftime whistle here at Randall's Island, Field 74, on a blustery day here at Randall's Island. 0-0 in this match. With the corner of my eye, I can have a glance at the game behind us. Liberia still in the lead over second placed Block FC. At Randall's Island, Field 74, halftime scoreline is 0-0. Stay tuned for the second half.
From soccer fields across the USA to the legendary stadiums of Spain and Portugal, for 40 years, Petrobax has been the go-to expert for group travel to Spain and Portugal. We organize soccer group trips from start to finish, flights, hotels, transportation, and guided tours, all perfectly coordinated by our experienced team. Your trip can include attending La Liga and Portuguese Primeira Liga games, matches against local teams, pro training sessions, and even tournaments. As true experts in Spain and Portugal, we'll ensure you also experience the rich history, vibrant culture, and incredible food these countries are famous for. Celebrating 40 years of crafting unforgettable journeys to Spain and Portugal. Petrobax, your team, your passion, your trip to Spain and Portugal starts here.
My name is Austin Brummett. I'm a men's soccer player at San Diego State University and I play forward. The Salt Air Case helps block odor from my cleats when I'm driving in my car or when I'm keeping my cleats inside my house, so I don't have to worry about it stinking up my room. It helps me keep track of my cleats and my shin guards so I know that they're together and I don't have to worry about tracking them down or losing them or stressing out about where they are. I would definitely rock this, walking to the games, walking around to my trainings. And it's super helpful for travel. When I travel in the airport to go to away games, it's not going to stink up my backpack or stink up the plane where I'm sitting. Magnetic strip on the top is super easy to open to take my cleats out and to put my cleats back in. I think it's an essential part of my outfit for soccer and helps keep all my stuff organized and stink-free.
A quality highlight reel is crucial for college and pro recruitment. A lot of services offer generic solutions, but at Game & Frame we know every player is unique and needs a personalised approach to win over coaches. Our process is simple. We work with any footage, and if you need help finding your best plays, we'll review games for you. Once we've finished, you'll have a reel you can upload to any recruitment platform. We've helped hundreds of players get the attention they deserve, including placements in Division 1 programs. Scan the QR code or email us for a free consultation and start the journey to maximize your recruitment potential.
around in this wind.
Welcome back, guys. Second half kickoff imminent here. One little footnote that I can see with the corner of my eye. The first half of the Liberia and Block FC game hasn't concluded yet. So in essence, we will conclude our match here first. Of course, we'll have live score updates. So far, no score here. Second half kickoff underway. Da Costa with first possession from, now attacking from right to left, Manhattan kickers. And as it's going into the wind, Leloup sail on the turn. Has Zami, who remains on, coming together behind the ball. Sandzak, Mamadou Diambera, who is in the 50-50 there, and Mamadou, who also played and scored in the reserve side, will lead the line now for Sandzak as rain is beginning to make the Sabovic. Servi. Back to Captain Haris Sabovic. Try to pump it long towards Mamadou Diambera. Bibovic. Find the possession now. Zami and Markisic in a little duel. Zami will take his man on 1v1. Zami's service to the second post. Evades Galia. Da Costa. Kalenovic. Bibovic into the air. The loop can try to cushion, has to stretch his legs now. Who will win a throw.
Bibovic cushions. The captain will lift. The captain Schneider, of course, the shake off the little knock he took in the first. Will take Krstanovic. As a service bounce awkwardly into the area, the substitute latching onto it, clear out into touch. Things are flying onto the pitch, all sorts of plastic bottles and such, but area. First touch. Cekic dueling. Winning. Diombera. Trying to find Mamadou. Captain's touch. Kolenovic turns. Boom. Cekic. Mohamed Bou. Elevate towards the advancing fullback. Skipping the ball will evade. Again, let loop, lifting his head, floating it in the direction of two players that were remaining high. Bou has it. Probably not the worst thing in the world, as now Sandzak can go and press high. That's exactly what the captain and goalkeeper Nivkovic saying. Sammy flicking one around the corner. McKissick. Kalenovic. For a moment it was just beginning to drizzle and make conditions even worse. Now the clouds are slowly evaporating. McKissick, let loose, contact. Is this Sandzak's moment now from a dead ball? The sun has begun to come out again. Very awkward conditions. It has to be reiterated that we'll see a different game of football in better conditions, but said the importance of this match. Kalenovic over the dead ball. Kalenovic will float to the second post. Yabro athletically up and bravely so. Getting a free kick, and of course good commanding goalkeeping from Yabro. Bro will clear it. It's going to hang up again into the wind. Cekic muscularly up. Fullback plays forward to Galia. Further forward to a runner, which was cut out by the captain, Cekic. Got Costa, certainly has helped upon entering in the match in the first half. Sami beaten to it by McKissick. Mamadou pressing. So to Diombera. Galia. Frenchman will find his captain, Schneider. Zami, Kalenovic. Cluster of bodies there. Bibovic will find the pass to Zami. Nibbles it around one. Appeal of a infringement. Ball for Manhattan Kickers to try and discomfort Nivkovic and the defense. Nivkovic constructing a three-man wall just off center to the left. Good position for Zami to tease one in possibly. Floated in. Sabovic's clearance hacked in by Sale. The awkward bounce. Sale gets a touch. Le loop. Nivkovic down to collect. Quickly distribute with a half clearance, half volley clearance. Finding Heze. Poked out Corner kick. Awkwardly enough, now the wind has stopped. Can't make these things up, but I'm sure the bluster will come back again. Chelebi leaping off the bench, replacing Mamadou. Maybe that was a bit of a tactical touch from Coach Kamal Hat to begin with Mamadou. Some more energy as well to rest, to in essence gain some minutes of rest for Chelebi, who certainly can pounce, and maybe he is the man to find the goal. Did Yabro had a little thought of touching it? Yes, but he didn't make contact with the ball. Still scoreless here. Da Costa, the Servi. Nivkovic will clear with distance. Chelebi flicks. The bounce almost awkward. Chelebi with energy as per usual, pressing every ball, forcing a wayward clearance. A little touch from Kalenovic. Heze. Sami. On the game next to us for a possible penalty for Block FC. I just caught it with the corner of my eye, none given from the referee, as Heze is back on his feet. Just got a quick swig of water as well from Fero Sabovic, the coach of the reserve side, the victorious coach of the reserve side. The Umbera athletically around one, a risen flag. Yabro will play with advantage. As the sun now is out. Flick. Markisic will have a good first touch. Reverse to Kalenovic, who can be the point of difference. Rostenovic, flag is down into the area, popping it over one. Bibovic was underneath to knock it out into touch for a Sandzak corner. I believe a couple of substitutes for Manhattan Kickers are limbering up on the outskirts of the pitch. Mohammed and possibly Sanchez as well, who haven't begun the second half here. Corner kick for Sandzak, going to be delivered by Kalenovic with outswing, a loaded area. Kalenovic, bodies down. What is the call? Penalty is the call. Sabovic and Chelebi went down in the area. The service was in proximity of them, and the referee judging a penalty kick for Sandzak. There's some discussion from the referee. And I also see a penalty kick given to Block FC just behind us. Frantic. A penalty for importantly here, Sandzak and Sabovic was ball in hand. And I believe on the corner of my eye, Block FC also have a penalty kick in the same exact moment. You can't write these things up, but our main focus is here for Sabovic. Sabovic eyeball to eyeball with Yabro. The captain steps up right-footed. Sabovic! Flawless! Just flawless from Sabovic. With risk, but with reward. Elevating the ball and beating Yabro. Sandzak opening the scoring here in the second half. Now as the two teams trot back to the center circle, we'll have a glance from distance, of course, at the spot kick for Block FC. 2-1. And Block FC have scored their penalty kick. So 2 penalty kicks. One for our game here, Sabovic, and one in the game behind us. 1-1 now, the score. Liberia and Block FC. And more importantly here for Sandzak, their goal from their captain from the penalty spot. Has a early service. Sabovic back to Nivkovic. Contact of Sabovic. Halfway line. Schneider has gone up from center back. Will be hoiked into the outskirts of the area. Sale dueling with Boo. Bibovic will let him trickle out. Just calm to locate his man Sami, which he did. Sale has to stretch. Sami going to ground. Boom. Dueling with 1 and 2. Bibovic. Chalepi, neat feet. As he can stretch his legs. The Ombera was behind the first runner. Heze remains with the possession. Heze crossed in. Bibovic awkwardly into the air. Kalenovic will control. Kalenovic lashes off Da Costa. Chalebi now. Armand Chalebi finds Diombera. Mamadou Diombera will, with a little back flick, find Kalenovic. Chalebi, just a stumble at the first moment before he could find the second contact. Galia running away with possession. Will find Zami. Sandzak a bit stretched now, have to get numbers back behind the ball. Sabovic has to stretch and sail into the sprint, which he did. The loop. Bibovic. Captain back to his center back partner. Of course, guys, stay tuned for more game and frame action tonight at 8 p.m. New York Prince of Green Freedoms will take on Richmond County. As let's just see this dangerous service into the area at Belson Stadium, APSL Metropolitan Conference, and in about 25 or so minutes kickoff for the Central Park Rangers, who will take on New York International, as well a APSL Metropolitan Conference matchup. Sandzak, who have found the lead through their captain from 12 yards out. In a good position here. The result behind them. So one of the two results that they need, in essence, to go their way is for the moment going, as Liberia and Block FC are deadlocked at 1 so far. Haven't had any news of the FC Ukini score. Left-hand side now. To slot in for Bibovic, meaning Michalak will swap in, and Espianzo will swap out to the left. Da Costa. Gallia, the Frenchman, dancing onto his left foot. Gallia strike. Le loop off the chest of Diombara. Cushioned. Chalebi had to just get between man and ball there for a second. The clearance will find Diombera. Mamadou Diombera has a runner to his right. Stanovic will shift his feet. Crossing one in dangerously. Yabro has to flick over the post. The wind possibly just dragged it a couple of inches or so, as Yabro has to do the correct thing there in that instance and just flick over his post. Another corner kick for Sandzak. We remind you they won their penalty kick off a service from the dead ball line. Sabovic in this instance not in the mixer. However, Cekic, Diombera, Heze, who's on the toes of the goalkeeper, all in that queue. Flung in. Markisic. The first time effort. Stood up by Boo. Coming across. A great challenge from the Servi, who knew that it was his ball. Kissing back. Furthermore, same scores in both matches here. Sandzak in the lead after a Harris Sabovic penalty. The field behind us have equalized with a penalty on a similar time, about a minute or so difference between the balls hitting in the back of the net. They are tied at 1 with Liberia. Servi. Sabovic now. Whistle. Have some room to work into now. They want to do it swiftly. Galia will float it to Zami, a little overhit, allowing Markisic to get back and poke out into touch. Of course, guys, today's Game and Frame broadcast is sponsored by Umbro, celebrating more than 100 years of football. Learn more at umbropremier.com. Another throw-in for Espiazu, who has gone over to left full back, replacing Bibovic, who had to come off some minutes ago. There's Mohamed, who also has re-entered from the bench, who began the game. On the right-hand side, here on the near left is Zami. Kalenovic will let it bounce to find Hrstanovic. Markisic will backpedal. Nice little chip. Diombera is beyond the last man, but he was in his own half, therefore wouldn't be offside, but a little overhit. Kissick, let loop first. Boo, Shinner towards the Umbera. Sanchez cushions. Galia dueling with Mohamed Boo, who has options left and right. Pass there. Wanted to play to the left-hand side towards the Umbera. Stanovic. Čekić, Ramo, Čekić, with Leloup, Michalak, Costa can pick up his head, goes backwards to the press from Sandzak. Sandzak have a thrown in a attacking position. Kickers as they were going in transition, maybe the referee, and we will restart the drop ball. From left fullback, Schneider, with the sun in his eyes, Galia between the lines. Infield. Galia can't find him. Mohamed Boo. Good neat touches. Diombera. Diombera dancing onto his right foot. Mamadou Diombera can't. He'll get the next best thing, which is a corner kick. Awkward corner kick in the end. It did find Heze, first post. Kissick. Rechka, who did that come off last?
Yeah, get it! Yeah. Get it!
Markishik will go down the line. Arsenovic. Boom. As we're in the 84th minute, we have news of another score. We'll get to that after this attack concludes. Gallia on the top of the box. Gallia, a low dribbler down the chest of Nivkovic. News here from McCarran Park. 3-3 FC Ulkini against New York Ukrainians, who just equalized in the last minute against Ulkini. Another result that favors Sandzak as their result here if they can see out the remaining 5 or so minutes. And the game behind this is about 5 minutes delayed, so can fixate our attention to that when this concludes. But still, work to be done for Sandzak as they were appealing for a corner kick. 5 or so minutes left here in the allotted 90. Aspiansu. Rechka. Around the corner towards the advancing fullback. Markisic on his chase. Rechka. Nivkovic commanding. And Sporting to say that the man was still down. As we'll restart with a draw ball. A scrappy game here, but every game, every 3 points of vital importance. Still, is it not offside? Is this the final touch that was needed from the Umbera? Kemal had imploring some instruction. Heze will be clever there and win his side of throw it. Say possibly that the 3-3 that we mentioned is the final score at McCarran Park between the New York Ukrainians and FC Ulkini. So a draw there, a draw behind us for the moment, and the 3 points so far in favor for Sandzak would be a hat-trick of good results should they finish out this match here. They found their goal in the second half through their captain, Haris Sabovic, from the penalty spot. Manhattan Kickers trying to find a late equalizer. Rechka. Da Costa. Get back now in numbers. Michalak, a great touch in the end. Combination of Sabovic and Nivkovic. And swinging corner now from Mohamed. Long into the second post. Nifkovic gets a knuckle on it. It's deflected. Incredible last gasp touch in the end. Nifkovic, who possibly thinks he should have gotten a free kick. Someone behind him on the line just flicked over the bar. Incredible. As Yabro has sprinted into the area. Final score we can confirm quickly. At McCarran Park, 3-3 final score. FC Ulkini, New York Ukrainians. The action is still fixated here. Incredible late drama here. Mohamed cleared away by Diombera. Yabro sprinting back. Crossed in. Leloup. The shot comes in. And that is the final whistle. A huge result for FC Sandzak, beating Manhattan Kickers 1-0 with a penalty kick from their captain Haris Sabovic on a very difficult day to certainly play your style of football, your methodology of football. Very difficult, blustery, cold conditions here, but Sandzak come away with the most important thing. 3 points in their favor. Final score at Randall's Island, Field 74. Sandzak 1, Manhattan Kickers 0. Final score also at McCarran Park, FC Ulkini, New York Ukrainians 3. A good result in Sandzak's favor. And just behind us now, the last minutes, which I'm sure the two sides will go to have a glance at. Block FC deadlocked at 1 with Liberia. Final score one more time here at Randall's Island, Field 74. Sandzak victorious and remaining top of the table, 1-0 over Manhattan Kickers.
From soccer fields across the USA to the legendary stadiums of Spain and Portugal, for 40 years, Petrobax has been the go-to expert for group travel to Spain and Portugal. We organize soccer group trips from start to finish. Flights, hotels, transportation, and guided tours, all perfectly coordinated by our experienced team. Your trip can include attending La Liga and Portuguese Primeira Liga games, matches against local teams, pro training sessions, and even tournaments. As true experts in Spain and Portugal, we'll ensure you also experience the rich history, vibrant culture, and incredible food these countries are famous for. Celebrating 40 years of crafting unforgettable journeys to Spain and Portugal. Petrobax, your team, your passion, your trip to Spain and Portugal starts here.
My name is Austin Brummett. I'm a men's soccer player at San Diego State University and I play forward. The salt air case helps block odor from my cleats when I'm driving in my car or when I'm keeping my cleats inside my house, so I don't have to worry about it stinking up my room. It helps me keep track of my cleats and my shin guards so I know that they're together and I don't have to worry about tracking them down or losing them or stressing out about where they are. I would definitely rock this, walking to the games, walking around to my trainings. And it's super helpful for travel. When I travel in the airport to go to away games, it's not going to stink up my backpack or stink up the plane where I'm sitting. Magnetic strip on the top is super easy to open to take my cleats out and to put my cleats back in. I think it's an essential part of my outfit for soccer and helps keep all my stuff organized and stink-free.
A quality highlight reel is crucial for college and pro recruitment. A lot of services offer generic solutions, but at Game & Frame we know every player is unique and needs a personalised approach to win over coaches. Our process is simple. We work with any footage, and if you need help finding your best plays, we'll review games for you. Once we've finished, you'll have a reel you can upload to any recruitment platform. We've helped hundreds of players get the attention they deserve, including placements in Division 1 programs. Scan the QR code or email us for a free consultation and start the journey to maximize your recruitment potential.
Welcome back, guys. Final score here at Randall's Island Field, 74, Sandzak 1, Manhattan Kickers 0. I'm joined here by Christian De Servi and Ramo Cekic. Ramo, let's begin with you. You also played some minutes in the reserve game. How were the legs feeling, and how difficult were these blustery, windy conditions to play not one, but 2 games for?
So, I warmed up a little bit in the first reserve game, and the wind is a battle. Your passes are not accurate. The through balls are unpredictable to play, but we stuck to our game style, played patience, keep possession. My legs felt like they were going a little bit in the second half there, but we pushed to the end. We held a clean sheet and we won the game 1-0. Take it through to the end of the season. We finished with the first place title, hopefully to semi-pro after that.
Very well said. A big result. We'll touch on the other results. I have some results in my head that I will get to you guys. Christian, you had to play some different positions. You slotted in at center back when Murad had to go off injured. Talk to me a little bit about your flexibility as a player. Can you play multiple positions? Which is your favorite position? And your energy, your work ethic. I feel like whatever position you play, you give not 100%, 115%. Is that part of your game?
Yeah. So I like to hustle a lot. I'm a very versatile player. I like playing anywhere defensively. I can hustle, but I'd probably say fullback because I have my strongest position.
You also did a fantastic job at centre back. 1-0, as Ramos said, clean sheet. You guys have conceded only 5 goals now in 8 games. What is the defense like with Danilo Nevkovic, of course, behind you? Very good last-second intervention there between defenders, and it was a slew of bodies at the end. What is that moment like when you're seconds away from victory? Defend and let's get out of here?
I get a bit shaky, but when I see Nico, what's his name? Danilo. When I see him back there, I just know he's going to save everything. At the end, I thought he got scored on, but I saw he jumped like a madman, like an animal, and he saved it. He's a beast, bro. I got no words for him.
Heroic defending, heroic goalkeeping. Now, let's get to the results that matter for us, for your team. Block FC are actually tied 1-1 with Liberia behind us. We could run and see the ending of that game. FC Ulkini tied New York Ukrainians 3-3. So in essence, 2 ties, and you guys got 3 points. That gives you a little bit more of a cushion at the top of the table. So given that, two games left in the regular season before the break, what are the goals for Sandzak, knowing that with your win today you will remain in the top spot? Said results.
To always play aggressive 100%. Like today, right away, first 10 minutes, we just played hard right away, and it kept us in the game. The whole game, 50-50s everywhere, we just played strong, got through it. That's our main goal rest of the season.
Very well said. And Ramo, we can say 2 victories for you personally. The reserve side victorious 4-2, and the Sandzak first team winning with a score of 1-0. Just to conclude, what does it mean to play for Sandzak? I know this possibly was your first game for the first team. You've probably played some minutes
I played a few years ago.
From the start.
This might come back. Got back into playing soccer a little bit, but it's always good to talk to the community because
back at that. Final point, guys. Good day's work in these cold conditions.
Yeah.
How do we celebrate this?
Go home, take a long nap, and a good dinner.
Well done, guys. Congratulations on the win. All the best.
Have a nice day.
Final score here, guys, one more time at Randall's Island Field, 74 Sandzak, with the result of the day and the results going in their favor. Final score here, Sandzak 1, Manhattan Kickers 0. Thank you guys for tuning in, and stay warm.